we are from Group 9, will interview the Jeng homemade brownies in Kompleks Karamunsing, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. So here we are.
For introduction, yeah. So because I believe in that, if you do, because I just don't believe in promotion when it involves prices. I feel every time you do that, you set a precedent. Yeah. So it's something that's really difficult to get out of, right? So it's more of an introduction. It's more of branding. Pricing comes as it's a natural process for me. I will determine a price and see whether it works. If it's not, then I will do an investment. But to say, okay, I'll do a promotion or you can get this for this much for a certain period, I don't really do that.
Discount also?
No, I don't. I don't do discount. That's why in my because I feel when you do discount, it can go only two ways. Either your customers will feel appreciated, or your long-time supporters will think you're not doing well anymore. So you reduce price by giving discounts. So it affects your brand.
So for the events like Christmas sales,
I don't do that. I'll do a Christmas promotion, a Christmas, not say promotion, a Christmas ad. I'll do ads. I'll let people know I'm available. We have. What I do is normally Christmas I will introduce a new product, yeah, or reintroduce. For example, for Christmas I normally do my Christmas cake, which I only do my Christmas fruit cake, which I only do during the Christmas season. That's what I do. But I don't do prices.
Okay. So my second question is, what kind of advertising that you use to promote your product, and how do you use of it?
I think the most important thing when it comes to advertising, of course, is social media. But I think the most powerful one is word of mouth. So that's where your staff come into play. Your staff must be able to say keywords. Yeah. For example, this is good, right? Please let your friends know. Where's my other branch? So these are the things. So I think that all the marketing tools, that's the most powerful. The most powerful will be word of mouth. So that's why I always train my staff. First thing is to be polite and to be able to introduce our product.
So my last question is, what are the issues that often in your company from aspect of product and services?
It's always supplies of raw ingredients because we are at the mercy of that. Let me just give you an example. Flour, for example, for my baking product, for my brownies. Flour, for a multi-purpose flour used to cost 38 ringgit when I started. Now it's 86 ringgit. So in terms of cost, that's the main challenge. Same goes for chocolate, but chocolate is stable. It's not that bad. Raw ingredients, I think the most challenge is cost. And of course, the cost of almost everything. Because it's an external factor. In other words, external factor is the main challenge. Yeah, those that you cannot control.
So in terms of service, what if happen if has another customer from the site? So you just recommend them to self-collect or?
Oh no, I think that's the wonderful thing about today's service availability. For example, if I have customers who are off-site and who are not able to come to my shop, if they are local, if they are reachable by Grab Express, it's not a problem. But then again, it comes to cost. If the customer is willing to bear the charges, then it should be okay, because normally in and around Kota Kinabalu will not cost more than 10 ringgit. I've sent products from Kota Kinabalu from my shop in Center Point all the way to Sepanggar via Grab Express. Cost the customer about 20 ringgit, which was something that is affordable still for them. So if they are agreeable to it, then by all means.
So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. My name is NURSYAMIMI.
Hi.
So my first question is, how do your customer perceive your brand the first day you started your business?
How?
Your customer perceive your brand the first day you started your business?
No, I guess it was, of course, when you started business, it's very new, right? So in terms of branding perception, I would say it was it's more of a homemade based business. So when it comes to branding, I think didn't really play much part at that point of time. Me saying that, what I mean is that my first customers are family and friends. Yeah, so it was more personal branding, not really product branding at that point of time. So it is perceived as a, how would you say it? Like I say, it's people that's buying, those who knew me as a person, not as a product. You understand?
Yeah,
makes sense, right?
Yeah. Okay. So my second question, there's a lot of businesses sell the same product as yours, and maybe that's a threat for you to grow your business. So how do you convince your customer to buy your product, especially your repeated customer?
So I feel, again, I think it comes to branding, right? It is very important to be consistent in terms of how you market your product. For example, but of course, when I say persistent, it also has to do with self-belief as well. The first thing you need to have is to believe in your product or your brand. That is the best. That is the only way you will be able to communicate effectively to your customers, right? By you believing and having faith in your product, that is the best. And for you to be able to have that, you have to know your competitors as well. If you have, right? You have to understand what is their values and what do they have to offer, right? So for me, it's always been simple. Is that I don't compete in the same line of what they're doing. I try to divert and be the best at what I choose. For example, if I believe that I might not be the best or be the most good looking, but I'm the best tasting. So I work on that. So I make sure that that is also communicated to my customer, especially me that I'm involved in retail, right? So besides my social media marketing, it's also very important for my frontliners, which is my staff, to communicate that to customers subtly, right? We don't want to push hard, but subtly. People have to believe that is good. That's why we give sample, go try your things in good. We prompt customers as well. Good, right? Those kind of things. So you have to be consistent in the terms that you use for your marketing. It's the best tasting, right? It's nice, you know? Make sense?
Makes sense.
Alright.
Okay, my last question. How long have you been in the market, and how did you handle the challenges in the last 2 years due to the COVID-19? And what is your plan in the future?
Okay. I started about 5 years ago, right? But I think been active for about 4 years, right? And then you asked me about COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay. During the COVID time, again, I said media social helped me a lot, and networking, right? So media social, I started during the first pandemic, right? We fall almost near to Hari Raya or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Raya was coming, something like that. So I used that to do, and at that point during the pandemic is that we were not able to travel. So a lot of family members who are in West Malaysia are not able to come back to Sabah, right? To Medan. So what I do is I marketed to say, why don't you send your love via products, right? So what happened then, it got a lot of attention in West Malaysia. I boosted via Facebook, right? I boosted targeting Selangor, Johor, Penang, where a lot of Sabah Hangsa. So a lot of orders came in from that side. right? Requesting for me if I'm able to send the brownies to the family. Now, bear in mind that point of time it was also difficult to travel, so delivering is a challenge, right? This is something I didn't tell you earlier. During the pandemic, my other product was sanitizers. Yes, right. So again, this is when networking happened, right? So I also happen to be in a business networking group in WhatsApp. So I also advertise there. So a lot of other businesses, right, who's doing other business or other entrepreneurs also supported me that way. So now again, delivering was a challenge at that point of time. So what I did, of course, since I was selling sanitizers as well, I had a friend who has a GMP factory, that means a certified factory that produces these sanitizers here locally. It's in KKIP. So I managed to get an approval to sell that. So, of course, she helped me. So since I have that authorization, I was able to move freely in Kota Kinabalu, right? So while I was on my route sending sanitizers to customers, I was also sending brownies at the same time, right? So it made it easier for me. So that was my strategy that time. So again, in terms of marketing, what was the product that was selling so much at the time was sanitizers, right? Sanitizers, face masks. So I went for the sanitizer, and that really helped a lot the business.
So your future plan?
So in the future, as you can see, we've already started actually doing more retail. That means having more outlets like this, right? So in the near future, hopefully I can have a few more outlets around Sabah, like Sandakan, Tawau, right? Maybe even Labuan, which is Wilayah Persekutuan. And hopefully within the next few years, maybe, hopefully we'll be able to have overseas partners as well. Hopefully we'll be able to open in Philippines and Guam. Was supposed to be last year, but didn't happen because partners have other commitments at one time, right? So we decided to postpone it. Hopefully this year Sabah market, and then the next 2 years hopefully we can start our overseas market if possible. But I'd say in a way it's more towards a retail shop because I feel that's how brand should be. Even though in a digital marketing world, right? I still feel that people need connection, so people need to be able to connect, right? So I think that's important because that's what is we are slowly losing, right? Connection, right? Everything is digital, right? So I hope that we'll be around for a long time. Celeste.
Yeah. So my first question is, what do you think your company's strength is in terms of product quality or organization?
My company's strength,
Yeah.
in terms of product.
Yeah.
I guess it's affordability. Right? Affordability is one of always my main concern, right? Especially in today's economy. But having said that, I always believe that there's a term that I used to use, affordable luxury. Right?
Oh.
It's a luxury, but everyone can have it. Right? That's what I want to have. In other words, is that like I said, I don't earlier during our conversation, I don't like to use the word premium, right? But I would like to offer something that of premium quality, but affordable price. But at the same time, I do not want to leave. I guess, in other words, what I'm trying to say is honesty. Right? To have an honest product, honestly nice, good product that people would buy. Right? Not just because it's fancy, but because it's really good. So I think that's what I've been able to establish, right? After 5 years in the market, is that having a product that is people can trust, and people know that it's good.
Second question is, what are the current issues faced by your company in terms of how you communicate with your customer and how you solve it?
I think the biggest issue that I have is in social media marketing, because it's so flooded. It's not saturated, but there's so many things that's in social media. But the biggest challenge I feel in terms of marketing is the attention span of potential customers. Right? How to put this in perspective? Those days when they're advertising like TV or radio, people have an attention span of maybe 20 seconds, right? They'll be able to bear listening, watching, right? But today's generation, regardless of age, right? Because of technology and all that, which helps a lot, but the challenge with technology that people have really short attention span, right? For example, like there is latest research from Instagram or even in TikTok or Facebook. Attention span of potential customers is about 3 seconds. So that's a challenge, I guess. Is what can you say to a customer in 3 seconds in digital marketing, right? So that's a challenge of coming up with something that will grab their attention for the first 3 seconds. Otherwise, you lose them. Right? So that's the biggest challenge.
So how sales to solve this issue?
To solve this issue, I'm still in the middle of trying to resolve that. So it's basically a learning process. In order to solve, we have to learn and adapt to the social norm, like TikTok, right? How does marketing work in TikTok, right? How does marketing work in Instagram? Because they all attract different right? Profiles, right? So again, like I say, that's why I'm more skewed towards retail, because that's the only time that my staff or myself will be able to communicate directly to potential customers, face-to-face marketing. So that's why I'm heading towards retail, which is, like I said earlier during the other question, is that word of mouth is very important, right? So I have to be able to break out of the, not say break out, but instead of depending solely on social marketing, social media marketing, and more towards retail marketing, which is directly to the customer. So I feel that is a stronger bond.
Hi, sir. My name is KELVIN, and I have 3 questions here. So for the first one, how do you run a marketing campaign for a new product launch, like for your new flavor of brownies?
Okay. Again, very tricky, right? Normally what I do is, when I have a new product, the first thing that I would think of introducing is via WhatsApp status, just to announce there that I have a new flavor. The reason I'm doing that because all my customers, present customers, right, are all in the database in my phone, in my WhatsApp. Basically, these are how people who order directly from me, right? So over the years, I accumulated quite a few, right, quite a lot. So I would first announce it to my existing customers via WhatsApp, and then I would use social media, which is Facebook, via my personal Facebook first. So because these are friends, right, who will be able to see that, oh, Jeng said something here, right? Then what I do is I use my company social media, which is my business Facebook account, right? Facebook for business. Announce it there, Instagram, and then at last I will use TikTok, because TikTok sometimes allow you to communicate to users directly, right? But I'm still far away from that. Very nerve-wracking lah kan doing live, takut when you do like 0 view, So I would say for new products, it's more towards my network first, my personal contacts, my WhatsApp, and also my customer contact. Then I move to the business contacts, and then only I go for the mass introduction by TikTok, which is announcement, which is where I boost all my posts.
So for the question 2, what kind of marketing activities that your company do?
Marketing activities, okay. I love to join fair, food fair. Now, when I say I love, there's only one that I really join, which is the Jesselton Artisan Market. Having said that, not because I don't like to join other markets, right, out there, but I just feel that Jesselton Artisan Market is a good branding platform as well, right? Because it attracts the right customers, right? Like I said, because like I mentioned earlier during our conversation, right, my target market is those in the middle and low income bracket, right? So Jesselton Artisan Market helps me to market to the higher categories, right? And because it's a totally different market segment. Right? So that's my main marketing activities, other than my social media posts. Other than that, I don't really do much. Right? It's all more to face-to-face marketing, which is basically my staff talking to people.
Okay, so for the last question, how do you make decisions that will make your product successful in the long run?
Always, my concept is always put yourself in your customer's shoes first. Always ask yourself, as a customer, what would you want in that product? Right? And I think the most important thing is, if I don't like it, there's a high possibility that other people will not like it as well. So, but again, like I say, before deciding whether to do a new product or whether to launch a new product, pricing, whatever, I always consider what my customers will think about it first. Is it acceptable to them?
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, hello, my name is Mel.
Mel?
So my first question is, what are the various tools that you use to communicate with your target audience?
Okay. So first thing off is my target audience, like I mentioned earlier, is always the mid and to the low income segment, right? So it's always visual. My first priority would be visual at my point of sale. Having said that, there would be like posters or bunting, right? Because this is the first point of contact to my customers. Second would be social media postings, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. But nowadays I'm more focused on TikTok, right? Because I feel engagement in TikTok is quite high, especially for the local area, right? So that's my main tools at the moment.
Okay, so you said about the online social media, kan? So what type of activity that do you do in the social media?
In social media, I don't do much activities except for basically advertisement, right? Advertorial, in other words, right? But I try to make it interesting, right? I try to make it as local as possible, right? Using local terms and all that, right? I try to make it interesting wherever possible, right? Which is a challenge, right? Like I mentioned again just now, you just have 3 seconds to gain their attention. Other than that, then you lose, right? But of course, what do you call this? At the end of the day, you just cannot avoid spending money for government. So that's why I post my posts for certain things, right? Of course, you have to understand the trending as well. If you see some tutorial is doing well, then that's where your focus is.
Okay, so my last question is, other than TikTok, Facebook, and what other social media thing lah, what marketing campaign that you run in the past?
I used to engage a lot of, not engage, I don't engage, I used to, I would say engage, a lot of influencers as well. I had a few who helped me out, right? But it's not promotion. It's basically just introducing my product, and then that's what I like when you deal with, how would I say it? Honest influencers, people who are not doing it solely for the money, right? Who market your product because they like it, right? So that's also another, I would call it, pitfalls in social media marketing if you engage influencers, right? Because of their prevalence in the market, right? A lot of people view influence as not being honest, that is paid for, right? So I avoid that as much as I can unless they come to me. So I've been very fortunate that a lot of influencers actually, not a lot, there's a few influencers who actually help promote my brand and my product, even without my knowledge, right? I only know after the fact, most of the time. And if I'm comfortable with them, that's where I will engage them if they are willing, right? Yeah. But so far I only engaged one influencer because they were very, very nice, right? So I wanted to help them out as well. Yeah, so that is one of the avenue that I have not spoken earlier.
So that's all lah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.